Speaking of lying, why the name Watermunch? Wait, so when you said you was going to get married, what happened? Why didn't you get married?
I got trapped in a tree. I haven't done everything with it that we want to do, so I'm excited to input some of those other ideas. It's going to be great. What if 7th of September comes around and it's actually just me on my own in a server that doesn't really exist, and we're not going to play MCC? It's insane. Same way that like prawn cocktail crisps taste like the colour pink. You know what I mean? I don't think your mum thinks you're epic.
Alright lads, welcome back to Midweek MC, the part of the podcast where I sit down with the amazing co-host who decided to show up this week. I actually genuinely forgot until he messaged me about 20 minutes beforehand, going, are we still on for tonight? And I was like, oh my god, Jay, you're meant to be here tonight, aren't you? AJ!
Hi, I'm meant to be here tonight, and I am here tonight. Look at that. I'm amazing. And I'm sure the crowd is going wild right now, my return.
Everyone's sitting on the bus, like, slowly fist bumping, you know, quietly. People stare at them weirdly as AJ's on the podcast.
yes, that's what happens every kid, isn't it?
Now they're going to start fist bumping with the other hand because we have a very cool guest. Hey, I'll let you introduce them.
We have the one and only Watermunch!
That's my name! That's who I am!
Yay! How are you?
I'm alright, yeah, not too bad. Just woke up from a nap. Everything's going well.
We had a little chat before the podcast. It was very nice, very pleasant.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good time.
And now but it wasn't about anything that should be on the podcast. It was just genuine, like, you know, about taxes and life advice and all that kind of jazz.
My full address. My full address was there.
No, that was on recording.
Oh, darn it.
I'm gonna put in the pre-highlight clips. My address is.
Everyone send me free stuff.
everyone. No, okay, no. I was gonna say everyone send me your address, but please do not send anybody your address. Seriously speaking, please do not. Internet safety, unless you trust them or they're a genuine person offering to send you free stuff, but do not give it to some random stranger online, please.
I love free things.
What a great start to the podcast. Before we carry on talking about more internet safety and how you can stay safe online, let's learn who Watermunch is. We always like to give the introduction here for you to tell us who you are, what you do, and if you have a fun fact either about yourself or the newly upgraded version of this, AJ, in general. So it's a fun fact about yourself or in general.
Okay. Hi, I'm Watermunch. I stream Minecraft and sometimes other games on Twitch. Fun fact about myself or in general. There's a fun fact about me. It's not the most fun in the world, but I once got 3rd place in a fancy dress competition, and I won a trophy for dressing up as Sharpay from High School Musical.
Yes.
And I got up on stage and I got my 3rd place trophy. And it was really good, apart from the fact that there were only 3 people in the competition. So I won a trophy for coming last, and it was very, very embarrassing and very sad.
So basically you got a participation trophy.
Yeah, but I was the only person that got a participation trophy because the other 2 were like 1st place and 2nd place, so like 1st runner up. So I got on a stage in front of a load of people and just sadly walked over to get my last place badge.
Isn't 1st and 2nd technically participation, you know?
Well, they did participate, but they were better.
Yeah,
they like won the actual thing, so they don't need a participation trophy because what's the point?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
they just won.
Oh, okay, Discord didn't die. We just all went silent.
Yeah.
I'm keeping that in as well. For context, Discord keeps dying, but everyone's just like, let's not say anything. That's a cool fact. I mean, did you, like, looking back on it, did you look a lot like Sharpay?
No, absolutely not. So it was... I went on holiday for any British people, especially British people in the Midlands.
I know.
I went to Skegness.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know Skegness.
Skeggy.
I know quite a few people who don't, like, from like,
as well?
the south.
That's
yeah,
the same
Butlins
place,
is great.
Butlins is called.
I went to Skegness and I found out a day before the fancy dress competition that there was going to be one. Me and my dad went around all of the silly, awful souvenir shops and bought a blonde wig and a really bad dress and some really naff, glittery high heels. Made just the worst outfit possible and called it Sharpay. And the other kids that were there obviously had a lot more time to prepare. So it was less that I was bad and more that I just didn't have time to prepare, which is fine.
That's fair.
I'm not bitter about it at all.
I'm
fine with that.
Completely fine, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even care. Whatever.
Yeah, why should you care? It's not your problem.
Exactly. It's fine. I still got a trophy, so it doesn't matter. I didn't cry.
You didn't want it all.
I want it all. I love High School Musical.
What's your favorite high? Oh wait, I know. Wait, AJ, this is your field.
It is. What's your favorite High School Musical song?
What's my favorite song?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
I feel there's only two correct answers. I hate to warn you.
Okay, well,
Right, guys, I'm gonna send a photo quickly of me.
I fear it's gonna be the worst answer.
Oh no.
Huma Hu Nuka Nuka Abua'a is
worst answer.
a banger.
Oh,
It is a banger though.
That
Certified.
might be the worst song. Of
Yeah,
all.
no, it absolutely is.
Apart from all the ones in 3 where they just
Hey,
there's a bunch
Three
of
gets
3
a
that
bad rap.
This is me at Butlins when I was younger, meeting Fireman and Sam.
oh my god, Five and Sam, I love Five and Sam.
What you do look like you.
I know,
No, the correct answers
Sam.
were Scream and why can't I remember the other one?
Bet on it?
No.
Oh.
Fabulous.
Fabulous? Oh.
Yeah.
When I feel like
Fabulous
crying, I
Fabulous
listen
Save.
to the end of year song.
Oh, I understand that. No, I get that.
When I want to get emotional and in my feels.
That's why I listen to Scream.
I was never that into Scream.
Just
Yeah, the
just so
movies
much
were more funny than
hormones.
scary, to be fair.
What do you mean?
Sorry.
You got me.
This is a great podcast. I'm learning so much about you, Watermunch. This is great. this is very much not going to be an interview podcast and just waffling away with a guest.
No, we're
I
just
mean,
gonna chat. We're just
yeah.
gonna chat.
why not?
I was never into horror movies when I was like up until really recently. I was never really into horror. I used to think I was a bit of a coward when it came to horror movies, but turns out I actually really love them.
Oh.
So that's quite nice.
So
Not me. Too scary.
in my household, we're actually not allowed to watch horror movies, and it's not because of I mean, I'm 21 years of age, so like, hopefully it's not because of scariness, but it's like just this thing of like just the whole thing around it. Like, I'm allowed to play horror games. Like, I've played Dead by Daylight, I've played all these other games, just not allowed to watch a horror movie at all. So
Oh,
That's sad.
it's because of
That
like
is sad.
it's like I guess it's just those people. It's not that we believe in it per se, but like, you know, people in the news who are like, oh, I watched a horror movie and now this lady's in my window. It's like, I guess it's just that crap. I guess when I was younger,
oh, you're scared of like summoning the Hat Man.
I just think when I was younger, they just didn't want me to be like to start saying there was like someone under my bed at the age of like 17. You know, like
Oh, when I don't even know how old I was, but when sorry for invoking the name, but the Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets came out. I couldn't sleep for like 2 weeks because of the big snake. I was terrified. I was absolutely. I can't remember the name of the big snake. But yeah, no, absolutely terrifying. Awful, horrible.
I know. Like, obviously, the whole thing around it isn't nice. I love Harry Potter, like the actual like movies and the books, specifically, not anything else to do with it, of course. But yeah,
Did you ever watch a Harry Potter musical?
I have.
no.
Oh, good.
Love it.
I want to watch A Cursed Child. They have
You'd
it on
love it as well, Orbits. I know how much you're into.
It's so good.
thing.
It's like the only Potter, like Harry Potter information that I have. It's from a Harry Potter musical. It's I think it was the first, or at least one of the first Star Kid musicals.
Yes.
And it was the first one to get massive. Incredible stuff. Now Star Kid have gone on to make so many insanely cool musicals.
I want to watch The Cursed Child. I think they're playing it up London right now. I don't know if it's like a play or not, but yeah, when we talk about musicals,
I read the script.
apparently it's not that good.
No.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Well,
But
it's
that
fine.
is, to be expected from someone who's not very good at writing.
It doesn't matter though, because we have Epic the Musical, which is trendy
We
right
do.
now. That's so
Which is
fire. I
crazy.
love Epic the
Epic is
Musical.
so good. Epic
Yes.
is great.
AJ hasn't listened to it yet.
Not yet,
Oh,
no.
it's you got to get on it.
I want
You
it,
have
so
to.
yeah.
Everyone
a
is
new
on it.
saga came out recently. I think one of the
Yeah, it released the other day. It's like genuinely. I followed the dude on Twitter, and he's like, I only have notifications on for like 2 people, and he's one of them. And genuinely,
Yep.
the new saga is blowing up because finally more people are starting to find out about it, especially in our community as well. And that's just a small community as well. Imagine like the bigger, wider ones.
I have only this is private information. I say private information as in like
Should
it's
I cut it out?
exclusive.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just exclusive.
Because exclusive.
I have one Twitter account with the notifs on, and it's NocontexthouseMD.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
Right, and it's
I have to get my daily dose of Hugh Laurie as a grumpy old American man, or I'll die.
what the Gregory House guy?
British accent.
Yeah, Greg House. Love that man.
I mean,
Love
I found no context. Oh, this is 46 followers. Last updated 2020. I don't think that's the right account.
That's not it. That's not it.
No context MD. I can't find it. Never mind.
It's at NocontexthouseM.
Oh wait,
There you go.
false. Oh yeah,
There's no D on the end.
there you go. Oh yeah, followed by Watermunch. You're the only person following them that I follow on InsideMC.
Yeah.
So oh yeah, I
This is
saw
my
the rectal
favourite
bleeding
trigger.
one that popped up on my timeline. I'm guessing that's because
What?
of you then. We've got rectal bleeding. What? All of you? And it popped up on my timeline with 200k likes, and it must have been because of Watermunch because you're the only
me.
person that follows them.
Jesus Christ.
That is me. I like every single one.
I respect it. AJ only has notifications on for InsideMC, so
That's
I respect
untrue.
it.
Oh, that's base.
It's just completely untrue.
I'm cutting
I
out
love-
the part where you say "un."
I love
It's
lies.
untrue. It's just a lie.
I love when people lie. One of my favorite things.
Speaking of lying, why
Yeah?
the name Watermunch?
I was ready to go into this, right? I was like,
Segue.
we've got to get into this somehow. I'll have to figure out a way to get in. And you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna force it in
The
there.
master of transitions right here. You know how like,
That was
Hannah, do
horrific.
you want me to do a better transition then?
Yeah.
Speaking of lying, sometimes when people go to the beach, they lie by the water while munching on fish and chips. So how did you get the name Watermunch?
Wow. First off, wow. That
Sounds
was
good, so.
that was great. I really hats off to you.
There you go, AJ.
So
Don't know. It's...
really awful story that is terrifically long-winded.
Oh, no.
And not very interesting, I fear. When I was I think 14, I just started school, or like I just started year 8 in secondary school, I think. Me and a friend of mine, who I will not name, but for this we'll call her Sally. Me and Sally had decided, because we'd grown up watching YouTube, we loved YouTube, decided that we wanted to throw our hats into the ring and make a collaborative channel. And she was in the seat of editor. She was like the editor, the producer. She came up with a lot of the stuff that we had. Like she did all the art and stuff. And I had one job. That one job was to come up with the name for the channel. And I was like, I'm not a very creative 14-year-old, which was true. And so I went on a name generator, username generator. I don't remember which one. And it came up with like a list of 20 different ones. And back in the day, when I was 14, that's basically the 1600s. Websites like that, the sort of generator websites, username specifically would always be noun followed by verb or adjective followed by noun, right? And so this list of 20 came up with just some of the worst usernames I'd ever seen. One of them began with water and one of them ended in muncher. And obviously as a 14-year-old in the 1600s, random equaled funny. So I was like, you know what would be really funny is if I meshed those two together and it became water muncher. And then I spoke to my friend not long before I started actual content. So about 3-4 years ago now. And I said, what if I just use that name? And she said, don't say water muncher, because I think that has like connotations, the muncher part.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll take off the bit and it's just water munch. And here we are.
It also sounds clumpy as well. Water
Yeah,
muncher.
it's a little bit too much. So I changed it to Water Munch, and then I at one point went into Owen's Juice TV's chat, and I said hi, and he was like, "Your name is super brandable," and I was like, "I'm gonna keep it forever now." That's perfect, and I did, and it is. It's very brandable. So
Kind of like one of those like superhero names where you take like the first letter of your first name and then the first letter of your last name, and it's like
Yeah.
C equals water and then like H equals munch, and that's your superhero name is Watermunch.
yeah, exactly. That's my superhero name. Really bad superhero name, but it's a great
What's your
Twitch channel.
superpower? I eat water.
I can eat water actually.
You can
It's really
absorb
good.
it, unlimited water, but you have to chew.
Let me ask you a question. If you could have water,
Okay.
unlimited water,
Ah, here we go.
I'm not even gonna finish
No,
it.
finish it.
That's the
Finish
wrong
it. Go on.
podcast.
No, finish it for the pre-highlight clips. We're going to say it all in one.
If you could have water, unlimited water, I don't even know the. Wait, I'm gonna have to get it up. Give me a minute.
Genuinely think someone replied to the tweet with it. Add up.
If you could, oh crud. You could have.
So how are
those.
you, AJ?
Yeah, doing all right.
Here
How's
we go.
life treating you?
Big projects happening.
What to them? This is such like a calm podcast. I've got my calm voice on. This is nice.
Yeah.
This is this is good aura.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a very calm person.
I'm not. I'm very
isn't
talkative
it?
and hectic. I went back to work today after a week, part holiday, part sickness, and some dude like left his cup on the side. I went, sorry mate, that's not where you leave it. And then my colleague turned around and went, I really missed you. And I said, I know you did.
That's incredible. Okay, would you rather have no water and unlimited munch, or water, unlimited water, but no water?
Unlimited munch.
Yeah, that's kind of real. That's kind of real. Actually,
Oh
I agree with you. That's the correct answer.
You don't want unlimited munch, AJ? Like the Ice Spice song?
Who?
Did you just who Mega Lol Ice Spice?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
I respect
That's
that.
incredible.
That's aura.
That's kind of aura.
I know who Doja Cat is. They're in the hit song Doja Cat.
Yeah.
I'm
And-
Never heard
cow.
anything of
Moo.
apart from
I'm a
that.
cow. Yep, that one.
What? No, never heard of that.
Okay.
Well, speaking of Ice Spice and Doja Cat, how did you get into Minecraft content?
Oh my god, that's incredible. That's the best lineup I've ever heard. How did I get into Minecraft content? That's the big one. So I got into Minecraft content through watching, this is so stupid, I'm such a fanboy, through watching Owen Stew's TV, weirdly enough. Second Owen name drop of the day. I was in a Radoon stream, and he raided into Owen back in the days of an SMP that I can't even remember the name of.
Wait, but what year was this, just out of curiosity? Sorry.
This was 2021.
Oh, gee, okay, that's not too long
So
ago, to be fair.
it's been a minute, but it's not been like crazy long.
Yeah.
I watched all of that one stream, and then I think I watched all of his next stream, and I was just like, hey, if this guy can do it, this is the kind of stuff that I want to do. If he can do it, then I can do it too. And so I did, and I didn't expect anything of it. It kind of just because I'm a single mum, so on an evening, especially during 2021 when it was lockdown, of an evening I would have absolutely nothing to do. And I couldn't go and see my friends. My son was literally just in my house all of the time. There was nothing that I could do, have any interaction with any human person apart from him, which sends a person crazy. He was 3 at the time, so I was dying a little bit. And so I was playing like 4 or 5 hours a night of Minecraft to just chill out and have a little vibe on my own. And I thought, well, maybe I can get like 1 or 2 people to come and join, and then maybe I can chat with them, maybe I can make a friend or 2, and then it just sort of snowballed, and here we are.
Well, fair enough. And so, what got you into Minecraft in the first place? I guess is my first question there.
Minecraft in the first place, that was a long time ago.
Yes.
Oh, I got into Minecraft through, this is once again me just being a little fanboy, Dogs Cast and Martin in the Littlewood. Those were my 2 big ones. I used to play the web browser version of Minecraft when that existed for about 6 hours after school every single day. And so one day my mum bought me Minecraft, and I think it cost like £7. And then I sort of never looked back. I've played Minecraft genuinely for so many years. It must be like 12, 14 years now. I love this game. It's stupid how much I love this game.
I'm on 12 myself, so I understand.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But so yeah, you get into them, and then sort of is there always like an idea in your head that you want to do any sort of content in Minecraft, or is it just like half there, half like
No.
did it come on because of, as you say, through COVID and then starting to play through that?
I
Or-
always wanted to be famous.
Yes.
That was my one goal in childhood.
Hashtag relatable.
But I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to go on and do music. And then I did music technology and music production at A level. And as most people who have been through A levels will know, most A levels suck the absolute passion out of any project that you enjoy. So I stopped liking music and I stopped enjoying it. Went on to do criminal justice at university, which also sucked the life and joy out of anything that had to do with it. And then I just jumped from retail job to retail job for a bit. But no, Minecraft was never like anything more than sort of escapism, I guess, for a really long time. It was just like having a really stressful day at school, boot up Minecraft. I'll, you know, make a little pretty farm. And for about 10 years of my Minecraft experience, I played peaceful. Played only peaceful, only single player for 10 years. I didn't start playing off of peaceful until I started streaming. So it's been like a crazy 3 years to go from only ever playing peaceful to then playing hardcore and killing the dragon in hardcore, etc., etc. Like, all of this is very new to me still, which is really nice.
Quite the step up.
Yes.
It's a little bit of a step up to
Very
then being you're going to be in the biggest Minecraft tournament as well. So even more so.
Yeah. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
Let's not get into that too quickly, though. I feel like we're jumping
I did. I wasn't. I
know, but I feel bad now because you did have the perfect transition set up, and I kind of just that would have been the best transition of the day.
It wasn't. I was not transitioning. Don't worry.
That wasn't a transition. If you wanted it to be,
you know, you can only transition by completely random, nonsensical topics.
Exactly. It has to be an awful segue. Please, I need more of that.
This isn't going to be an awful one because I am just genuinely curious. Obviously, depends on how much you want to touch on it. You mentioned how you're a single mum. When you're doing, and this is actually James, actually, I'm not going to just turn around and go, so how did you get, I don't know. Like, are they interested in Minecraft? Like, and it's like a two-part question, so I just might as well slap it all together. Firstly, are they interested in Minecraft and what you do? Secondly, you can't really go to, like, can you go to conventions and stuff?
So, first, Sam is his name. He is lovely. He's 7 now. Sam absolutely adores Minecraft. He thinks it's great. It's his second favorite game, only second to Roblox because he is 7.
He'll grow up to find out that Minecraft is super.
Yeah, absolutely. And I started watching Owen because Owen is family friendly. This is once again, this is a podcast about Owen at this point. Because he's family friendly, he was my first choice of entertainment that we could watch together. So me and Sam would usually put a stream up on the TV and we would watch that together, and we've been doing that basically ever since. Obviously now I'm a little bit more busy than I used to be when it comes to sort of that sort of time, because it's evening time when Sam's about to go to bed. Sam absolutely loves Owen, loves Minecraft in general, watches Rats SMP every day. Loves that. He's watched that like 20 times now. He really enjoys Minecraft, and it's so nice to see. As a person who knows, obviously, I know a fair amount about Minecraft, watching him go from being like, he would sometimes have my iPad when he was like 3-ish. He would try to play Minecraft on creative. He would make a little maze, and then he would get sheep, dye them the colors of his best friends, and then put the sheep into a maze, which is very sweet. And now seeing him at 7 with his own computer, and he can play Minecraft when he wants within, you know, screen limits. And he plays on survival now with me on a LAN. He plays creative, but he's making his own little parkour courses, or he's recreating the Rats SMP map. Seeing that progression from one playstyle, which is very childlike, to another playstyle, which is also very childlike, but in a much more experienced way, is crazy. And then to the second question, in terms of conventions, I can go to conventions because his father is in the picture, so I can send him to his father's. I don't really, because I would say semi-faceless. I have a few selfies on Twitter, but apart from that, nobody's ever seen my face on video. No one's ever seen my face in real life, apart from one person who just works at my corner store. Who like recognized me by my voice, which is insane. Oh my gosh. There's one person in this world who's seen my face on video. Not even like my closest content friends have FaceTimed me. I can go to conventions. I've kind of soft locked myself out of them until I get partner, because a lot of like the Twitch cons and stuff, a lot of doors open for you when you have partner. So I don't want to go with all of my friends who are partner and then them all go to the partner parties and the partner lounge and stuff, and then me just sort of sit there like, oh,
to be
I'll
fair,
see you later.
To be fair, with TwitchCon Europe, the partner party happened and a lot of us missed out on it, but also if you have a lot of like friends in the European scene, like me and AJ do, who aren't partners, you can make a really good time of it. Like we got to go to the MCC after party, which we were very fortunate about, and that was amazing. And I wouldn't say it was better than a partner party, but we didn't fully miss out, I guess.
See, all of my friends, most of my friends who aren't partnered are American and are not going to the European TwitchCon. I can't afford to go to the American TwitchCon, so it would be like me and maybe one person who is affiliate that I sit with while everyone else is at a partner party.
We can be
so
friends.
Just like, I'll wait. We can be friends.
Exactly. We can hang out together.
This is it. This is it.
This is it. Now you're coming to next year. You will be partner by then. But even if you are partner, next year now, because we're friends, you have to miss out on the partner party to hang out with us.
Absolutely, I will not be doing that. I'm so
what
sorry.
The heck?
I am so very sorry.
We will be partner as well. Don't worry about it. And AJ.
Yeah. Yes.
That sounds cool.
The hesitation was a lot.
I more meant like, would you ever like, I guess like bring Sam is what I meant, as opposed to like, oh, you can't go to conventions because of Sam. I more meant, would you ever like bring them like to TwitchCon? Maybe obviously not now, but like when they're all like 10 or 11, would they ever tag along?
I think it's difficult to predict because the way that I parent is very much based on a like maturity basis, so than an age basis. So like him being left alone. I know some parents that I'm friends with who are happy to like leave their kids in the house on their PC or like watching the TV or whatever at 9 years old, right? Just so they can go to the shop and buy some bread. Normal thing. I don't know if Sam's gonna be mature enough to handle that responsibility to just sort of sit in the house on his own without me. At 9, he might not be ready for that until he's, 17, and that's fine. So I would take him to conventions, but only when he's like of an age where he's able to make informed consent judgment on that stuff. Because I don't know what's going to happen within the next like 3 or 4 years. There could be another boom like there was during the lockdowns, where MCYT just goes crazy, and the fandom culture, although I appreciate the fans, every single MCYT person does, there is something to be said for the fact that during lockdown specifically, and during that big boom, there was a lot of behaviors, let's say.
It was interesting.
I don't want to bring a young person into that without them being able to make a decision based on that. And so I don't, like, if I took him to a convention today and then there was a boom in 5 years, I don't know what's going to happen in terms of people knowing what he looks like. And knowing, what he is like or what I'm like. Like, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to make a judgment. So I'm just sort of playing it by ear.
Yeah, I get you. I was just curious as like a whole. Obviously, I mean, I don't have a child, so I can't relate.
It's really difficult, I think, in this sort of atmosphere, this sort of climate online now. I've seen the rise and fall of family vloggers. I've seen people, make content out of the fact that they are parents. And a lot of people really exploit that and exploit the whimsy and innocence of children, the material gain, and I just think it's awful. And so I want to keep him like aside from that as much as possible, while still involving him in like this massive part of my life. Because like I've had people say, "Why don't you like involve Sam in streams and stuff?" Which is a very sweet thing to say, but also like he can't make that decision. He's 7, so and I'm not making that decision for him. He's 7. Like he should be allowed to make that decision.
I see where you're going with it. I guess like sorry to cut you off there, but like a topic that I've always seen and I've always found it quite interesting, and I guess I kind of agree with, is like when family channels make content around like their 3 or 4 year old kid, and I'm not saying it's a problem because I don't want to like yell at people, call shots, or like start arguments or whatever, but I've never really agreed to the idea of like putting your kid's face online without their consent. Like I understand they're your child, but come like 20 years down the line when they're an adult, will they want to look back and be like, oh look, I was in this YouTube video titled like, some of the family channels are weird. I'm not even going to think of a title, but some of the family channels are proper weird, and they put like their kids in the thumbnails and in the videos, and it's just like, why did you involve me in that? Not me. I've never been in one, lucky enough.
I think the problem that we have now is that the internet is so new still. Like obviously it isn't, and we've all grown up with it, but like it is very new insofar as like knowing what to do on the internet and what is right and what is wrong morally. But the idea of like kids basically growing up having jobs, like this is my job. I make content online and it's a job day, and I do less work than half of the kids on family channels, and that's terrifying. The idea of like a 4-year-old having a job, I hate that. I think that's horrible. Let kids, exist and be kids without shoving a camera in their face. And I will start drama if I need to, because I just think it's awful. I think it's morally abhorrent. But I also don't want to because I would say I split my life pretty much 50-50. I have my daytime where I'm a parent, and then I have my evening when he's in bed and I'm a content creator. I don't want to cut him out of half of my life, because then I'm not being a good parent. So I like to involve him as much as I can without him being on streams or actually publicly there,
Yeah, I think that's it's the safe thing to do. It just, I think we'll see an interesting thing come the next few years where we see, if all these kids that have been part of basically all these family channels and so on, how they grow up and what sort of how that affects them come their later life, because I don't think it's it doesn't always show up very soon, but then of course things that happen later, exactly, and it will affect them in some way or another. It might be positive, but we don't know yet.
We never know.
Yeah.
But I do genuinely think that everybody should be allowed to make choices about how they spend their life, including children. I think too many people disrespect children of any age, really. Any age child. When I was 14 to 16, and I was a teenage girl, I was disrespected all of the time. I was patronized. I was talked down to. Decisions were made for me. But this is now happening at such an insane level for kids that genuinely are too young to even know that that's happening, which is terrifying and awful, and I think it should never happen. But that's my 2 cents on the matter, I guess.
I said this to a partner who was having this conversation just about life in general, and I remember something I said, and it's weird, it's something that stuck with me that I said it. In secondary school, I was having this big problem in year 7. I used to get bullied really badly in school. It's kind of just always happened, but anyways, I got really badly bullied in year 7, and the kid accused me of doing something else, sorry. I think it was what happened was he slapped me in the face, so I slapped him back, and he accused me of doing something beforehand or saying something. The video cameras ended up picking up in the end, and and showed that he was lying. Anyways, the point is, I sat down with the teachers and I said all of this. I'm not saying I'm the brightest year 7, but I knew how to talk, I gave them to run down everything, and they completely ignored everything I said. I won't get into too much of what my mom does because I don't want to, but she emailed the school. They gave her a really basic reply, but then they didn't know she knows quite a bit about the school system, so she then replied with this whole thing, went in, said all of this blah blah blah, basically said what I said, but from a I know what I'm talking about standpoint, and then all of a sudden bang, they want to listen to her. And it's just why did you not listen to me in the first place? He's already given you all of this. Why did it take my mum to come in and be the adult? Why would you listen to the adult and not the kid who has told you it? Because I understand that I was younger, I was 13 years of age, but listen to me still in that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
I've told you everything. I told you what the kid done. I told you where to check the security cameras. I've given you every single piece of information that a 13-year-old probably in a stereotypical way, a 13-year-old shouldn't be that smart enough to give you all of this, and you still went on to ignore me. So.
I tried to raise Sam with the knowledge that he can make his own decisions on anything, and he also has the authority to tell me things. If he doesn't like something that's happening, he has the authority to be able to tell me, and we have a very negotiating relation, I would say. It's less, it is parent and child. Obviously I have to say, because I know what is right, and he is aware that I am the quote-unquote boss, I guess, but we don't really approach it in that way. We more approach, he can speak to me, he can tell me what is wrong or what is right about a situation, and then I can explain to him how we can change it, if we can change it, and why we can't if we can't. And it's worked really well. He's an incredible kid, and he's very confident in himself, which is really nice. Great boy. Love that boy.
I don't want to dig. Sorry, I know I'm asking loads of questions. So
no, you can ask.
I think this will be the last part I dig into, because it's just interesting hearing about obviously you doing content and being a parent and stuff like that. Because I think unless anyone else I've on the podcast is a parent, but as far as I guess Taylor dad would be a parent, but you get the idea. Do you? I'm assuming not. Actually, I'm not going to assume anything. Do you do content full time or no?
Yes.
Oh, you do content full time. Oh.
So I technically yes, but also kind of no. Insofar as I do content full time in terms of that is my job, but I don't put in the same amount of hours as most people do, who do content full time because I both am a single parent and I'm disabled. So I have been written off by the government from having to work at all. Content is more just I guess a passion project in itself. Like I do it because I enjoy it. And if at any point that enjoyment goes away, then it goes away. But it's also a nice way to set up a sort of financial plan B in case anything falls apart with the government. You know how the government it's a little plan B. It's a little blanket, a little safety blanket in case, you know, anything bad happens. It makes sure that me and Sam can pay bills and get food and stuff, which is very nice.
Will that sort of empower you in any way?
Yes, massively. So I was when I started content, I was working in a betting shop. I won't name it. I was working in a betting shop, and I was really ill. I didn't know why. I was working 8-hour weeks. 8-hour week. I was doing 2 4-hour shifts a week, and I would do them at the weekend when Sam was at his dad's, or if he wasn't at his dad's, then he'd go to my mum's. I would work 2 4-hour shifts of a weekend, and then for the rest of the week, I would be rested because it would make me feel that ill that I would just have to lie down. Turns out I have fibromyalgia and a host of other problems. But I was really struggling emotionally with the idea that maybe I'm just lazy. And maybe I just never want to work, and maybe I'm just going to be what they call in Britain a benefit scrounger, which doesn't exist, by the way. But no. they make a point of demonizing people who are on the benefit system. And I thought that was, who I was. And I was just lazy and I had no passion for anything. And I was just one of those people who, once again, don't exist. But then I found content, and I would sit at my desk in a way more healthy way for 10-hour days. I would clock in of a morning and then I would do my 10-hour days while Sam was with his dad, or if he was at nursery at the time, I would sit down when he went to nursery, and then I would get back up and pick him up from nursery, and then I would sit down again when he went to bed and stream. And it was the first time since I was a kid where I was like, oh, I can do long hours, I can do long days for something that I enjoy and I find like fulfillment in some way. Like I don't find fulfillment in working in a shop for someone else. Like why would I? I don't think many people do. I found a lot of fulfillment talking to customers, but the kind of clientele in a betting shop is not the same kind of clientele that you get on a Twitch stream.
No, I said a line, AJ.
It wasn't great.
What line?
I'm a barista. Oh God, I bring up every podcast.
I thankfully never got into the barista side of hospitality. I did restaurant work for a bit.
Screw that. No, I can't do table service. Like whenever they
I was quite happy with table service.
They suggested the idea, so I'm not taking people's coffee cups at a table. They come and grab it themselves. I'll make your coffee. I'm not delivering it to your bloody table.
Yeah, in a restaurant, it's nice because I didn't have to make any coffees or anything.
It's a good skill to have.
I just took it out. Yeah, it is. I did make a couple of coffees every now and then, but it wasn't like the job. I was mostly just talking to the customers and then taking things out and then cleaning down the tables. So it wasn't easy work. It was very much like on your feet all of the time. But it was nice because all of the people were lovely. All of the people that I worked with were really kind, and also all of the customers were really nice because they just wanted to have a good time. But in a betting shop, it's a lot different. People get upset, people get angry, especially if they're losing. And when they're winning, people get, egotistical and narcissistic because that's unfortunately the nature of a betting shop. And the clientele is like a massively different demographic. It's older men, which is difficult as an AFAB person. Whereas on Twitch, it's younger people. It's people similar to myself. It's people who are more open-minded and just there to kick back and relax, which is exactly what I want, So it was a big difference, and I really enjoy it. I think it's the best job in the entire world, and I think too many people take it for granted or get like caught up in the stress of it. I thankfully don't have to stress too much. I'm one of the really, really lucky people who, like, the numbers don't really impact me because I have enough on because of the fact that I'm disabled, which is like it's two sides of a coin, I guess, because like disability is great for me because it means that I don't have to rely too much on the job and too much on the fix, but it's also awful for me because I'm disabled.
Yes,
so,
of course,
Finding
great and also awful. I absolutely love Twitch. I think Twitch is one of the best places.
Has that sort of emotionally helped as well, sort of dealing with your disability and so on, and the fact that it's a lot more, even if you did just take the benefit, which you'd be entitled to, of course, you know, with the way you talked, it still feel like you would find guilt in that. So it's the fact you doing content and so on. How has that sort of emotionally helped you deal with your disability?
I have other friends who are also chronically ill or disabled in some way, who have had to pack in the job and go unemployed. And I've seen how it can affect you when you don't have something like it short, or, you know, a quote unquote side hustle as they call it nowadays.
Yeah.
It's really it ruins the mental health because you don't have a routine that you're like forced into.
Yes.
You can make a routine, but after 2 weeks you're like, well, I don't have a boss that's gonna tell me off for not getting in the shower at 9 a.m. So I'll just stay in bed until 12. And that ruins the psyche because you're just sat in your house because all of your friends are at work in the daytime. You're sat in your house playing video games. You don't get dressed for 2 weeks. That can ruin a person's emotion and mental space. Whereas with Twitch, although I can sit in my house days on end and not go out if I really so wish, I still have a semblance of a routine because every day, 5 days a week, I stream at a certain time. I have obviously my SMP, which I am up and running pretty much as often as I'm awake. I've got something happening on the SMP that I need to take care of. Everything, and also obviously I have a kid, so there's obviously me being in a routine is actively putting him in a routine, which is good.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to have something to drive me that I can actively succeed in, because I think something that is massively lacking or would be massively lacking in my life if I didn't have Twitch is the idea that like I wouldn't have any goals, I think, like financially or even just inner passion. I don't know if I'd have anything really driving me to get better in something. This is nice to be able to have something that I can work towards. It helps a lot.
Is there sort of a goal that you are working towards constantly, or is it just, you know, constantly keep growing, improving, so on? It is mostly just
improvement. And not in terms of growth. I think that growth or like analytics, I've seen so many people just completely burn out from analytics and leave the platform, or like leave content creation or just leave the internet in general. So I steer well away from analytics. I think they can be really damaging. I know some people work really well with them, but I do not.
Don't think you'd be on the podcast today as in like the podcast just wouldn't exist, not because of you personally. That sounds really bad. If I cared so much about the stats and stuff like that, I mean, InsideMC hasn't exactly really seen any growth. Like, it's seen slow growth. Right. It's seen slow growth, but like, I mean, my growth is more, our growth, I should say, even, sorry, AJ. Our growth is more seen in the guests that we get on as opposed to the stats. So if we only cared about the stats, InsideMC would not be around today. Exactly.
I wouldn't, like, it's really strange because I was talking with a friend of mine, Laz.
Yes.
Laz has been on the podcast. I love Laz.
Laz is so cool. I was talking to Laz a while back, this was a few months back, about my growth as a person who doesn't make content anywhere but Twitch. I only stream. That's the only content that I make right now. And we were talking about my growth, and to be fair, of any growth ever, it's very confusing because I've done really, really well. I don't look at analytics, so I don't really measure anything, but Laz was looking at it and was just like, this is reminiscent of a person who, you know, make content elsewhere too, because there's a lot of discoverability for me, apparently, which is insane.
Yeah. You have a brandable name, Lauren was right.
Oh, yeah, this is a brandable name. That's what's got me.
No, but it's true though. Like, you genuinely do have like a name. Like when you see a team announcement, I've said this before. There's some people who just have that team announcement name. Watermunch is a team announcement name.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's a really good name. To be fair, I'm quite glad that you gave me it. But yeah, in terms of like analytics and stuff, I don't really care. It's more about just like growth in the content that I'm making, being able to make stuff that I would enjoy. Is really, really nice. I love the idea of making content that I would want to watch. It was one of my favorite things about like Martin, for example, in the Littlewood. He's never really chased a trend. I've never seen that guy chase a trend in my life. He makes content that he would enjoy watching, and that has grown him a really healthy in terms of size, and also a really healthy in terms of dedication audience. He has like a super dedicated audience who enjoy the content that he makes outside of, you know, it being content for content. It isn't that. Too many people in this space make content because content is where you get money from, and I think it's really damaging to see content in that way. Everything you make is art, and you should approach it as such. Because if you make art that you enjoy, then you'll find an audience who enjoys the things that you make, and then you're set for success, right? Because then people want to watch it. No matter what it is, it could have 200 views, but those 200 views are really, really positive, because that's 200 people who would stand around in a museum looking at your stuff, which is insane to me.
It's the same. It's the same concept as like, do you know what you do because you like it instead of for being paid. You know, people find their jobs better if, you know, it's a job that they enjoy rather than a job that they're just getting money for.
Exactly.
Well, you see,
I like that kid close to home did it all. Sorry.
No. I grew up with the nickname Chatterbox Charlie. So
true. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That sums me up, really, doesn't it?
Yeah. I remember I lived with two of my best friends for 10 months-ish. We lived together, and I would play Minecraft with them on a LAN world. And while we were playing, I would just talk, and they kept telling me to make Let's Play videos because they thought that people would like it, and I was just like, no, that sounds horrific. Everyone would hate it, and I would hate doing it. And then I told them after I'd moved out that I was going to start Twitch, and they were like, oh, cool, good. And they came along for a couple of streams, and then the people started turning up, and they stopped turning up. And then like I had 2 viewers in my first stream, and toward the end, a new person. So my 2 viewers were my 2 best friends, and then someone else who I did not know came in for the first time ever. My first stream, which is crazy. And then from there, I went to 10 average viewers in, I think, like the first 2 months. And then I just grew from there, which is something that you don't really see a lot of the time. And I know that I'm a like super anomalous creator in that way. I know a lot of people who have sat at 2 average viewers for years. But I feel like I've made a community that I would be happy to be a part of, and so why wouldn't other people is my sort of view of it.
Yeah.
Which I think is very healthy in comparison to a lot of people who make content. Because I grew up with content creators who made content because they enjoyed it, because I started watching YouTube before monetization was even a dream. Like being able to make a living off of YouTube just didn't exist when I started watching it. So people just made content because they enjoyed it. And so that's what I want to do too. If I make money, then I make money, and yippee, that's great. But like, I just want to make content because I like content.
Yeah, that's the best way to be.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna go backwards here a little bit.
Okay.
We were talking, you know, you are a disabled creator, but you're also a AFAB creator. In terms of your content, how's that sort of has that affected it in any way? Has that sort of what has that done for your content? What has that done for you as a person in this space?
I started content under the impression that I was a cisgendered woman. And I did that for a really long time. I was under the impression that there were like 3 genders at that point. I knew that there were loads, but I only really knew 3 of them, and that was cis woman, cis man, and then transgender. Those were the 3. Those were the only ones you got. And then I started to make more friends who were non-binary or gender fluid, or, you know, lots of different terms under this massive umbrella of trans. And I started to talk to my viewers who were also sort of exploring gender as a concept, and I was learning all of these new things. And I'd heard the word gender fluid and gender queer sort of thrown about. Both by my friends and by my audience. So I looked into it a little bit, and I realized how much I actually enjoyed being called a guy or like a little fella. And then I started to like play with the idea of maybe being they. Still cis, but she, they. And then I played around a little bit more with the idea of he, they, she, maybe. And then moving sort of more towards the gender fluid / gender queer sort of area. And I officially came out as gender queer, gender fluid. Happiest time of my life. It's one of the biggest things that I have to thank Twitch for, is the fact that I'd made a community that have been so open about their struggles with gender, but not just their struggles, just their like epiphanies when it comes to gender, their constant education is something that I cannot be more grateful for, because without my audience, I wouldn't know where I was. I was a very, very confused person for a really long time, and I didn't really know why. And it's really nice now to have a why and to really put that into a little box and go, and now I understand you, and I can close that lid now, and not be confused anymore. Which is, it's so nice. It's so good. Being AFAB will always have its, ups and downs. Mostly downs. Yes. And I know a lot of people in this world will still see me as a woman, and that's okay, because sometimes I am anyway. But it's I think my gender is way less about how other people view me and way more about just how I view myself.
Which is the most important thing, I think. So it was less so, that anything to do with content, you molded any of your content, more that content molded you in a way.
Massively.
From meeting so many people.
I remember this was like, I think, a year and a half maybe into my content creation journey. Someone came into my stream and said, thank you so much. You've helped me to understand my gender and sexuality way better than I ever would have. And I just started crying. I cry a lot on stream. That's one of the big things. But I just started crying because I've learned just as much about myself in terms of gender and sexuality as I've taught other people. In fact, I think I've learned way more than any of my community could have learned about themselves through me. I have, between 20 and 200 people talking about it at any given point during a stream. And that's between 20 and 200 people's worth of information. Whereas me teaching somebody else about gender and sexuality, that's just one guy. Like, I'm just one guy. So I can only give you one perspective. I'm just a little guy. I'm just a little fella. I can only ever give you one perspective, whereas I was having so many different perspectives, and being able to open my eyes to so many different, and make my own decisions about how I viewed. And it was it's so genuinely, I cannot thank people enough for that. It's something that I thank my viewers for a lot, because it's a massive life change.
And I think it's so important that people do talk about this stuff sort of throughout Twitch, throughout the internet. Like, that's how I came to learn what being ace was as well. So that was very through a friend, and then through meeting more and more people. So sort of the internet is, whilst it was also a horrible place in areas, it has that sort of power to allow people to find themselves as well, which people do through your content, which is not like it goes full circle.
Another small exclusive. I say small exclusive. It will be exclusive for a bit, but I'll probably make a quick talk about it at some point.
I'll do it after the podcast comes out, at least.
No, I will. Don't worry.
Make it special. Make it special for like one day.
I'm hoping to, planning to come out as someone under the ARO umbrella again. I was under the ARO umbrella for a while.
I'm gonna have to be dumbing down as to what that means again. Sorry. I remember as much as I can. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I normally do a quick Google search, but while you're here, you might as well say what's aromantic again?
Aromantic is a person who doesn't feel romantic action. That can be lots of different things.
Wait, but you're that's similar to what you are, AJ, right? Or
I'm asexual.
You don't feel sexual attraction.
I don't feel sexual attraction.
Sorry, that's what when I said similar, I meant like the idea. Sorry, not the concept.
So
Soul learning.
They're two rivals, basically.
We're fighting. We're fighting right now.
Well, that's why we're waiting till after the podcast comes out. Okay, got you.
I would officially class myself as a romance yearning aromantic. I love romance. I think romance is great. I want it so much for myself, and then as soon as I get there, I'm like, actually, I feel ill. I feel really ill, and I don't want to be here anymore.
You enjoy the work, and then as soon as you get there, you're just like, I'm bored.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like I feel ill anytime that like I'm involved in a romantic thing. I just want to be alone, and I want them to leave me alone.
Oh god, I love being alone. But I also enjoy romance as well sometimes. So.
I hate I'm romance repulsed in so many ways, but I also yearn very much. I'm just a yearner. I just like to yearn. Like I watch a lot of rom-coms. I watch a lot of romance movies and shows, and I love them. I think they're wonderful, and I like to watch them very much. And I love the idea of being in love, but then the actual act of being in love is horrific and disgusting, and I want to go away forever. So it's
not to be graphic. I'm the other way around.
Yeah. Yeah. you feel that in a different way.
And then there's me. I love my partner, but God, I love my own time.
Yeah. I love my own time too. I'm a big. Well, this is one of the things that it's really funny to touch on, and I never think about touching on it until it comes up. But the fact that 2 SMPs that I have been in as of yet have ended in my character having a marriage arc is really, really funny. So Pirates SMP, our creations, thank you so much for inviting me. You're very kind. I got married to one of the NPCs.
Well, they're not going to keep talking and bothering you. You'll get your own time.
Yeah, exactly. They left pretty quick. They literally were killed during the wedding. Sorry, spoilers.
Oh, God. That's fine. Yeah, if no one knows by now, it's our own bloody fault.
Yeah, grew him. Martin in the Littlewood became a villain and squished my husband Jeffrey with an anvil. Incredible writing.
Laugh, but it is very funny.
No, it's really funny. And then also my cameo in the Rats SMP, the original. I was a termite, and weirdly enough, once again in the Littlewood Martin, we got engaged. He was going to marry me for my money because I was a royal termite.
That's a line.
Those are my 2 marriage arcs, which is very strange.
So when you said you was going to get married, what happened? Why didn't you get married?
I got trapped in a tree.
Oh.
Yeah, they trapped me in a tree.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's really sad.
I wanted to quickly go back and touch on something you mentioned earlier when you said about the whole gender thing. Obviously, before the podcast, we did a pronoun check, which is completely fine, obviously, for obvious reasons. I'm saying this as if it's not fine.
By the way, guys, I think it's fine. By the way,
guys, I think it's good to establish pronouns. I just want to make that very clear.
I'm an ally.
I am an ally. To be fair, I am an ally. I'm what you call default settings. He, him, straight, boring. But I spice it up in the sense of I go by any pronouns. The only issue is no one ever calls me anything other than he, him, because I don't show anything other than he, him. So it's like, so what I was going to say is it's an interesting thing of like, obviously, you go by he, she, they. Which is like, once again, completely fine. Sorry, I had to.
Fine, by the way.
But it's fine, I agree, I'm an ally. So, no, but like, obviously, you have like little bits of like. I agree.
It's just the idea of you go by he, she, they. I agree. So funny.
But like, obviously, you have little reasons as to like what kind of makes the he make sense in like the most basic wording. Whereas like me, like no one's ever. I don't think anyone will ever refer to me as like she or her.
Yeah. With
it like making sense, I guess. Like, because I don't show any reason as to why. And I just go by any pronouns because I don't really. At the end, I don't really care. What I say, like I don't really care what you call me if you refer to me. For instance, like so this is a really crap comparison, and it's the best I got. I have a work colleague called Rob, and apparently we look alike, so everyone just calls me Rob. That's like the best I got for comparison. is I go by Rob and Charlie.
That's so good. Your 2 pronouns. Rob and Charlie. Charlie and Rob Self, I think, is...
That's like the best I got. Actually, I'm just trying to relate, see? I'm not like you guys.
Good if you're...
I'm all about relating. I
relating.
I agree, I'm an ally, so,
You go by he, she, they. I agree with that.
I think it's best we move on to your wonderful SMP.
Sorry.
Oh, God. Sorry. No, that's fine. No, that's okay.
Go on, AJ, please. Sorry, I'll mute while I carry on laughing. My bad.
I think it's about time we move on and talk about your wonderful SMP. How did that come to be? How did you create that?
What's the name? Sorry.
Abode SMP.
Abode.
It's awfully
Like
close
my
to...
humble abode.
It's awfully
Like the
close to a
opposite
certain
of
copyright.
Adobe, yeah. A
Dodging-
lot of
dodging copyright
I
there.
knew you were thinking of that almost straight
a
away.
lot of
Wait,
people have.
you called it
likened
Adobe?
to Adobe. Yeah.
It's cool. I
Oh,
called it
that's exactly
Adobe. Adobe. It's like, do you know, like people call
Are
Nike Nike? I call it
Feel like
Nike.
I have
Are you
to leave.
okay?
I have to leave the podcast.
No, it's nothing like Nike and Nike because there is a correct way to pronounce Adobe.
It's Adobe.
And it's
right?
Adobe.
Oh.
No, it's Adobe.
Well, it could go by Adobe and
Adobe
Adobe.
Photoshop.
Adobe Premiere Pro.
Adobe Photoshop.
Adobe.
Is that not what it's called? That's what I called it all
Lightroom.
my life.
You. Oh wow.
Adobe
Oh.
Photoshop.
Is it
No, I
too
can't
late?
even remember the SMP name.
It's
No,
Abode.
the SMP.
The SMP is Abode. The SMP is Abode.
A lot of people do call it Abode. That's
Americans.
No, British. Some of the members have realised that it's similar to Adobe or Adobe, as wrong people would put it.
Only me.
Only you. They've started calling it Abode, and I just think that's a really funny line. But yeah, Abode, like my humble abode, my house, my home.
My SMP.
Me and Luann Lemontine. Big ups Luann Lemontine, co-owner of the SMP. We spoke about a year and a half ago, 3 months ago, maybe, about the idea of... So I was doing Pirates, and I was terrified to go back to single player because I'd been doing an SMP for like 6 months. It was this massive SMP. It was one of the biggest things I'd ever done in my entire career. And then to go from doing 6 months of constant multiplayer experience to just single player on my own felt so damning. It felt like I was just putting myself back into the box of saying the same things and asking the same questions to the same people for the next, 2-3 years, however long it was the next SMP to come around. Turns out it doesn't actually take that long for the next SMP to come around, so I just needed to wait a little bit longer. But we started talking about the idea of not an SMP, but a single player experience where some of my friends who don't make content could come on and mess about for a bit. So kind of an SMP, but not really a creator SMP, more just content for me and my friends can come on. And they could play, they could build stuff up, and it's more of a multiplayer experience, but it can still be single player if I wanted it to be. And we built out an idea. We pitched an idea to each other every, few weeks. We would get into a call and we'd talk about it and we'd get really invested in it. And then we'd shelve it because something else came up or we stopped feeling super passionate about it. And then we'd get it back off the shelf because we started to feel a little bit more passion for it. And it just built for, I would say, about 6 months. We built it from this idea of just like a single player experience to closer to what it is now, which is sort of a comfy, cozy SMP. Where people can play their sort of single player experience if they want to, but you can also interact with people. There's a questing system which fixes up with a class mechanic, so similar to like D&D or whatever, you can have like a role that you can fulfill and do quests in, and you can also make your own little adventuring part. Say you're a builder and your friend's an explorer, you can send your explorer off to get you different materials. They can do some of their quests, you can do some of your quests, and it fills out the logs for each of you, which is really nice. And it became just this massive thing, and then we added +1s, which is crazy. I love the +1 system. So Luann and I have we run in the same circles basically, so we have the same friends. And we wanted to extend the invitation to people that maybe we didn't know, but had a vibe check by somebody that we trust. So we invited like 15, I think, of our friends to the server, and then we open invited one of each of their friends. If they wanted to invite a friend, they could. So they always had somebody to play with. If they didn't want to play with people that they didn't know super well, then they could play with their friend. And we also wanted to make an SMP, because I think a lot of us uplift smaller creators. It happens all of the time. Everybody's like, this SMP is going to uplift. And it's really difficult to put into practice. Like maybe you don't know a lot of smaller creators. You're worried that maybe it would be overwhelming for them, etc., etc. So a lot of people just don't end up doing it in practice, which is fine. But we wanted to make an active effort to be able to do that. So we made a pitch deck for all of our members that said, invite whoever you want. They don't even have to be a content creator if you don't want them to be, as long as they are within the circle of content creation. So they know the etiquette and they know how to sort of act. And then a couple of people did. Not everybody did, but a few people did. And we have some really small creators on there. We have some creators on there. We just have a load of people with really good vibe who like to play Minecraft. And it's really nice. And I like it a lot.
Oh,
that's my favorite thing. I love it. It's so good. It's so good.
That's sweet.
Yeah, launch day came. So I'd worked, I would say, for solidly 4 months on developing the SMP, because it's a fully custom SMP. The mod pack is custom, the quest line is custom, everything. All made by yours truly. I've never dev'd before. I do not know how to dev. This was my first ever attempt at deving anything, and launch went off pretty much without a hitch, apart from like a little bit of lag here and there. One of my friends came in, who is a dev, Brian, shout out Brian, came into my stream and said, hey, I can probably help a little bit with that lag. And so we got in contact. 4 hours later, we'd moved the server to a better host. We'd spoken about how to fix some of the problems that some of the members were having. And Brian had also made from scratch a website for Abode SMP. And we'd spoken about all of the different things that we could do with abodesmp.com. And so now we have a website and a fully hosted server, and we have a dev on side, so I don't have to spend 24/7 making sure that the server works and is running. It's insane the amount of the outpouring of support that I've had from not only the community but also friends of mine and people who just want to help and make it run really smoothly is insane. It's so nice people really want to see this succeed, and it's so nice. It makes me very happy.
I'm now I'm fascinated and happy. It's just hearing you talk about it's made me quite happy.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about it. It is, I would say, out of everything that's happened in my career, this is taking into account pirates, my cameo on Rats, being able to befriend some of my favorite creators in the entire world. This is the thing that I think I will always take with me, no matter what happened from here on out, no matter whether I quit content in 2 weeks, which I'm not going to, but maybe I will. But this is the thing that this is a lifetime experience for me. This is one of those core memories I will always take with me, because it's been in the works for so long, and we managed to pull it off in a way that is endearing to people. People love it. The members, there are members on there who hate modded Minecraft. There are members on there who hate SM. There are members on there that just that can never really sit in a community for too long, like an SM, without just going off and doing something else. And everybody has said that they absolutely enjoy it. They love it so much. They want to get back to it. Some people are on holiday right now, and they're just so sad because they can't play Abode. Obviously, there's I think 6 of us right now, maybe 5. I can't really head, but 5 or 6 of us are in MCCR, and I've had so many messages from those members just being I can't wait till MCCR is over so I can get back to Abode, which is crazy. I feel exactly the same, but yeah, it's my second child. I think it's I have one and I have Abode, and I love it so much. I just think it's wonderful, and I'm excited to see where we go from here, because we've got a lot left. We haven't done everything with it that we want to do, so I'm excited to input some of those other ideas. It's gonna be great.
Is there? I was interested in. Do you find with the whole adding system that the people obviously you've got such lovely people in already, so they're gonna just add more lovely people. Do you find that everyone is gets along well and integrated well in?
Yes, we've had up until now. Obviously, the SMP's only been open for 2 weeks, but 2 weeks is usually the time where you will realize whether an SMP, whether people vibe with each other or not. The cracks will start to form within about 2 weeks, I've found. There have been no fights. There have been people interacting who probably never would have interacted outside of Abode. It's I'm so blown away by how it feels like this is so stupid of me to say, I feel, but it does feel like a home. We call it Abode SMP as a nostalgia sort of this is cozy and lovely and comfy, but it really does feel like home. Sometimes I just go onto Abode SMP, and we have a mod called Water Frames, which means that you can put any embedded video onto a TV block. Sometimes I just jump onto Abode SMP, get onto my couch in my Minecraft living room, and I watch a Twitch stream in my Minecraft living room, just because it's nice. I've sat on those couches in my Minecraft house off stream and had 4-hour-long conversations with people, just because that it's home. That's where I hang out with my friends. It's so nice, and everybody gets on really well. There's lots of different creators from lots of different styles of content. We've got the cozy creators, we've got the more, I guess, chaotic or hype creators. And everybody gets on super well. Everybody gets the vibes. It's really, really lovely. It makes me so happy. I love it so much.
That's like me when I get to sit down and talk with AJX every week. I sit back in my
your
chair,
home.
I get really happy and
Oh.
yeah, AJX is my guy.
That's how it should be, I feel.
AJX is my Abode SMP.
Yes! Everybody needs an Abode.
Well, I'm your child.
I mean, yeah, we can roll with that.
It. It's the found family dynamic. You must
considerably older than you.
Be a child.
No, we're aware, don't worry, AJ. You are very much old.
Oh, okay.
Duh, older.
Me
You're
too.
not old.
Me too. I'm old. Don't worry.
No,
we got it. We got it.
Actually, I know your age probably isn't public, huh, Walter?
Oh, it is. No, I'm 27.
No, yeah.
Oh.
27 years old. I'm old. I'm real old. I'm pushing it.
I'm also 27.
No, you're not.
That is not true. You already told me how old you are. You can't.
I could be 27.
You will be in about 6 years. Yeah.
Bloody hell, you're good at maths.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
6 years ago was before COVID.
Oh god, there is no before COVID.
There is no
My brain.
Life started after COVID.
It really did.
You just think. You just think it did before.
You've mentioned it. We've talked about it. You managed to get in MCC Rising. Yeah! Congratulations.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane. They're like crazy time.
How was the process? Right? How did it happen?
So, in terms of the application, very strange. I got a message from somebody, one of my friends, saying, "Hey, do you want to team up?" And I said, I can't say yes or no to this, because if I'm gonna team up with anyone, it will be Abolish Regret, because we applied together last. I wasn't gonna pop up to Abolish because I wasn't sure if he felt the same way. And I also wasn't really sure that I was gonna apply this year, because I've got obviously Abode happening and lots of things. So I just sort of left it up to Abolish. Abolish got back to me. Abolish popped up to me not long afterwards. I think like a couple of hours after that, and was like, "Hey, do you want a team?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, sure." pull my arm. Okay. So I get into the Discord server for our little team application. All of the participants barring me in my little team are American. So every brainstorming session I was not involved with because it was after I'd gone to sleep. I get to the recording. This was after a 12-hour stream. So I had a 12-hour stream, then I had a day to recover, of which I did not sleep. I was still so like adrenaline rush from the 12-hour. It was my first ever 12-hour. Getting to this call, we were supposed to record at 8 p.m. my time. We didn't start recording until I believe 11:30 my time, maybe 10:30.
Your time is the same as ours, remember?
Yeah. But like it was not the same as theirs.
Yeah,
It was like 5 p.m. or whatever for them. And so I was so tired during this entire record. I was terrified that I'd messed it up in the recording. So I spent a good couple of weeks just stressed, just terrified that like we could have gotten in if I wasn't in the application.
Oh my god.
I was like terrified.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
And then I get a notification during my second ever 12-hour stream that is an email that Abolish Regret had received. I love Abolish. Abolish had screenshotted the email, sent it to the server. I read it during my 12-hour stream. I think it was like 7-ish hours into the read this email, genuinely just thought, I'm being pranked. This is just a really elaborate prank. They've gotten into one of their American time zone calls and they've conjured up this really weird prank just to upset me during my 12-hour. So I went back to it, didn't really think much of it, got an invite to the Discord, the MCC Rising Discord. But it was just
at this point, do you still think it's a prank?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So it's just a landing page, so you can't see any of the members from one other person in the Discord, who I believe was Avondale.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
A bit of a
hint. Yeah, a little bit of a hint. But I just thought Abolish had made a disposable account and called it like Avondale, but with a capital I instead of the L. So I didn't think anything of that either. I was just like, this is a prank. Cool. I'll get myself verified and I'll see, when the Rick roll is going to happen. And then I get verified, get accepted into it, and everything's fine. And I'm in MCCR, and now I'm crying. And then skip forward a day, we have the tech test where we are in a call with Avondale and we're doing the tech test and making sure that everything runs fine. And during the tech test, me and May's another member of the team, not use the jump pads.
Okay.
The jump pads do not work.
Oh, no.
So we think we're about to get kicked out of MCCR. So me and May do a second tech test the next day. It turns out it was fine. It just needed to be restarted. Like the server needed to be restarted and everything is fine. It still kind of doesn't feel real to this day. Like I still don't really... what if 7th of September comes around and it's actually just me on my own in a server that doesn't really exist and we're not going to play MCC? It's insane. I'm an MCCR, by the way. What?
You still think it's a prank? You still think it's a prank?
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, by the time
it just doesn't feel right.
Is that a lot of imposter syndrome?
Oh, massively. See, my problem is that I've been naming myself the personality hire of Yellow Yak because I have absolutely no mechanical skill. Because I played 10 years worth of peaceful mode and I never went on Hypixel to do the parkour or anything. I don't know anything about, like, I'm not good at any part of this game at all. The only thing I'm good at is vibe. So I have brought the vibe. But also, I know that most people and anyone in their right mind cares about MC, has picked Abolish to be top individual because Abolish is insane, like crazy good at the game, and has been supporting Nox Crew since like Terra Swoop Force existed. Like Abolish knows MCC through and through, and will do insanely well. I, on the other hand, I'm gonna be lucky if I get 35. So it's really I've had to push through a lot of imposter syndrome over the last couple of weeks because it is just terrifying to know that like you're the reason if your team doesn't get to Dodgeball, you're the reason. That's a terrifying prospect. And I also know that, like, if we don't get to Dodgeball and it is my fault, nobody's gonna care. Like, Abolish isn't in there for winning it. Abolish is in there for having fun. And if we win, then that's just a plus. Yeah, but it's also terrifying because, like, Abolish should win. Abolish deserves to win the whole thing with his team. And if he doesn't, then it's on me. But like,
it isn't.
Whatever.
It isn't on you. Yeah.
No, it also isn't on me. And I've made so much improvement. I spoke to Abolish yesterday or the day before about the fact that, sure, I am not the best in my team. I am, in fact, the worst in my team. But the amount of improvement that I have made within the last, like, month is something that he did not expect at all. And he's, like, insanely proud of where we're at. All four of us combined, we've all done incredibly, just to try and get as good as we can for the time. And obviously, we also have Purple as a team captain because they introduced this year.
Yes.
So cool. Such a good addition.
I was going to ask, when did you find that out?
We found out a day before Twitter did.
Oh, okay.
Well. Wait, can I say a fun fact I learned earlier?
I love fun facts.
So do you know
about Dodgeball?
No, okay. Don't worry, it's not about Purple Dodgeball record. I've done enough tweets on InsideMC about that. Do you know how we recorded that video, me and your team, the one that's coming out sometime this month / next month, about like the pre and post interviews, which is quite exciting, which I haven't actually announced. I guess if you're listening to this, you get to hear the cool thing. Ooh. So literally an hour before we recorded this podcast, I recorded with the Pink Parrots, and something I learned from them is that the captains actually got to choose their teams.
Yes. Yeah.
So they filled out a Google form and they got to put their first team and their backup team. Obviously, I don't know what Purple's was.
Purple was as his top priority.
Let's go.
See, Purple picked you.
It was one of the first things that Purple told us when we got into a call together. He was just like, "You guys were my favorite team, by the way, so I'm glad that we got to work together," which was really nice to hear. Like, a few of my friends are captain, but I've never met Purple before. We've never spoken. We don't really run in the same circles at all. And so the idea that even someone who doesn't know us personally at all to see us as a team that they'd want to coach is really lovely. And he has been so helpful. My God, so helpful. Because Abolish is great, and Abolish has done so much. Like, we spoke on the interview, and I'm gonna a little bit of the interview here, but Abolish has made a strat for Sands of Time that is specific to our team.
It's so funny how this is coming out after. This is coming out after MCC Rising. So everything we're talking about right now, people are gonna be like,
what if Sands of Time never comes out? That's gonna be crazy.
If it
doesn't get picked, that's gonna be insane. But Abolish has done all of this work to make sure that the strats are good, but then Purple has come in with his experience of MCC and sort of asked questions, and they've modified it a lot. We got all of our team now have 7 currently page Google document of strats for every single game, which is about to get bigger because the games have just come out, so we can work out what maps are.
Yes.
And work out strats specifically based on the maps. Crazy. Purple, we had a call with Purple recently where he was just like, I've learned more about MCC through this experience, coaching you guys and working out strategies for your team than I've ever had to learn. Because like most MCC contestants who play often don't really look into strats. They just, show up on the day and have a nice time. Whereas we obviously are in it once. And so we want to get the most out of it. And so he's helping us a lot, which is instead, like, he's put in so much time and effort one of the things that we were told by Avondale was that there was one expectation of captains, and that was there were two really, to help us as much as they could, time willing and schedule willing, but also to do one stream with us of coaching. And he did that one stream with us, and I was like, okay, cool. His expectation now is like he doesn't have to do anything. That's his job fulfilled. But he's been in constant calls with us, doing VOD training with us on the practice server, working out this 7-page Google Doc, like just random stuff. I didn't expect this from a captain at all. He's been incredible. Cannot thank the guy enough, because it's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
I have to ask, has Purple gave you any dodgeball strats?
So I know Abolish asked him at one point during our first call if he had any dodgeball tips. Oh no, it wasn't even during a call. It was in our channel, in the MCC Discord. Abolish was like, "Do you have any dodgeball tips?" And Purple just in all caps went, "Nope." I've kind of left him alone for dodgeball because he doesn't...
I was going to say, just ask and then do the complete opposite.
Yeah, we have a training session in an hour, actually, and we are going to be doing dodgeball training. So I'm excited for somebody to clown on him at some point.
Make sure you're in the team opposite.
Yeah, I think I'll be fine. Yeah, it's because I don't really... I've never had to worry about like a bow and arrow PvP in my life. I don't worry about any PvP in my life.
Yes,
because I don't play PvP. So I don't know what I know that you're supposed to just like dodge the arrows, and nobody ever looks at the arrows. People look at the floor a lot. So I've got to look at the floor and I've got to move around. That's all I know. And that's fine.
That's all you need.
That's all I need. All I need in life is to look at the floor and jump around.
I'm excited to see how well you do and how well your team does.
We're gonna win.
We wish you luck.
We're gonna win.
Big luck.
I've learned how scary Abolish is.
Everyone
like,
will know.
I didn't know who Abolish was, and after our talk, I learned, and I'm like, oh my god. Not like scary as in like person. They seem like a very nice person, but as in skill set, Abolish is scary.
I would have. I think genuinely, if I was in a team that wasn't Abolish's, I would have pulled out as soon as I saw Abolish's name on the list, because he's terrifying to go up against. I would, I think, cry. And it's so nice to be on a team with him, like, because I've had to put in so little in terms of like thought to strategy, because he's just like, I've had these strategies picked out for years. I've just been waiting for a place to put them on a platform. So I haven't had to worry about any of that. I've just been messing about on Ace Race, and it's perfect.
Well, with that, Watermunch, unless you have anything else you want to talk about, I think it's time we move on to the Twitter questions. So that way then you get a bit of a break before you go and do some dodgeball practice as well.
Would love to do the I haven't read any of them. These are going to be completely new to me.
Okay, I'll go first. We'll go one by one, AJ. Like, I can last them. What's your choice?
Yes. Yeah, no, you go. Let's go.
This is a whole topic from Lewis Full Spam. Lewis, Film, why couldn't you not reply on your main? Mine's always your old. You can only pick one. The Price is Right, Eggheads, or The Weakest Link, and he wants you to tell him why.
No. Oh, that's really difficult. Okay, Eggheads is out. I was never an Eggheads fan. No. I care so little about Eggheads. Okay, just a bit of context for this question.
Like the chase before the chase.
Just for a bit of context for this question, in case anybody is unaware, during my application for MCCR, I spoke about the fact that I wanted to play Grid Runners because it was very similar in concept to a game show that I really liked called Crystal Maze. And then me and Fulham had a really long conversation about game shows liked when we were younger. I didn't expect him to ask me about game shows today. No.
You don't like Tipping Point or Catchphrase?
Oh no, Catchphrase I'm a big fan of.
Okay, good.
I thought you said Catchphrase, and I was like, I've never heard of this.
Catchphrase is amazing, and I love Tipping Point.
Catchphrase is the best. I love Catchphrase because most of the time the catchphrases are not catchphrases; they're just random sentences.
Images.
I think that's really funny. I'm not into Tipping Point. Tipping Point is past my time of enjoyment. Like, I like sort of 60s to early noughties game shows, and Tipping Point is more of a sort of late noughties, early 2010s, I believe. Though not my time. I would say in terms of either Weakest Link or Price is Right, the problem that I have is that I love Bruce Forsyth. Big fan of Bruce Forsyth. And he's a legend, right? But then there's also Weakest Link, and I feel like Weakest Link for me has more of an emotional impact because it was also in Doctor Who, and also Phil Lester was on it, i.e. Amazing Phil from YouTube. So I fear I must choose weakest link.
Fair enough.
Because Anne Robinson is insane.
Can you say the line?
You orbits are the weakest link.
Oh,
goodbye.
Ouch, yeah.
I agree.
What the
Anyway,
I'm not even gonna give you a swear word because you don't deserve it, AJ.
It's from Lemon is Cake.
I just realised how little I've sworn.
Yeah, same. I was about to swear, and then I realised actually AJ doesn't get my swear word. Actually,
I don't understand swear words.
Shut up.
Next up is by Lemon is Cake, who says Watermunch. Why are you so cool? So cool, sorry.
Am I so cool? I literally just got out of my fridge.
Nice, good answer.
I was sat in there for a bit.
Perfect answer, thank you very much.
The next one comes from Wadebox. Wadebox, just know before I ask this question.
It's going to be about celery, isn't it? Is it about celery?
Before we get into this question, just know I stand with you, Wadebox. Wadebox, I'm with you on this one, and I think it's amazing, and I don't think you deserve feedback you've gotten. No. Why do you put... Okay, well, I don't agree with this, but I agree with the whole...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Why
do you agreed to something silly.
Why do you prefer cucumbers over celery, and why are you wrong? See, I prefer cucumbers over celery, but I do also love celery. So I stand with Wadebox celery.
Okay, so celery, I will say, as I have already told Wadebox, celery tastes like battery acid but green.
Okay.
Cucumber
do you know what battery acid tastes like?
It was a crazy day.
But it's the same how like
summer of 1978.
It's the same how sparkling water tastes like TV stacked.
Exactly, right? Like, I don't know what that tastes like, but I know how it feels.
Yeah.
It's the same way that, like, prawn cocktail crisps taste like the colour pink. You know what I mean? So, yeah, celery is awful, but I do understand that there is something about the crunch. I understand that people like the crunch of celery. Cucumber has that, and also tastes like a beautiful, refreshing dip into a natural, organic spring. I enjoy a little bit of cucumber. It tastes like summer. Celery tastes like the devil. I don't want that in my mouth. Get the devil out of my mouth. Put it away. Put it back in the Sainsbury's bin of celery and pick up a couple of sticks of... I will eat like 2 full cucumbers in one sitting. I love cucumbers. Celery is yucky.
I was going to say, the fun fact about me, I put celery in squash. Because
squash?
Squash.
Squash is in the drink.
You get?
Just like it doesn't matter really.
AJ the type of guy
to orange.
AJ the type of guy to drink a celery milkshake.
Oh, nice. Anyway,
so you make a Bloody Mary out of Vimto, is what you're saying.
I love Vimto.
You make
but you don't like alcohol.
I'm confused.
No, so the celery obviously is a majority of it's water, right? So it absorbs the squash. Therefore, the celery then tastes like the squash.
Oh my god! Wait, no, I actually kind of get this.
Yeah, it's really nice.
When I was pregnant, I had a craving for strawberries, but it was very specifically strawberries that had been soaked, like drowned in water for half an hour. They absorb all of the moisture and then they get like really sweet and squishy. That makes I actually kind of understand that now. I don't like celery, and that does sound disgusting because it's celery.
Sorry, I meant cucumber, not celery. My bad.
Oh, no, that makes sense.
Oh, that makes way more sense.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
That does make sense.
Do you know what I did yesterday?
Go ahead.
So, do you know that picture I sent you, AJ, of me on the Eurostar with the 2 cups of wine and the chicken nuggets?
Yes.
So, obviously, Chloe only had like the cup that she had. Then I had like a cup and then half the rest of the bottle. But what I decided to do near the end was dip the chicken nuggets in the wine.
Oh my god.
Very nice.
This is foul. This is foul.
McDonald's fries in Guinness.
Anyway, moving on to the next question, because I don't want to think about it anymore.
If you're allowed to talk about your weird, like, wet cucumber shit, then I'm allowed to talk about that.
What? Cucumber is water.
The wet cucumber makes sense. What you've just said makes me feel ill.
Drink alcohol, Watermunch?
I do, on occasion.
Have you ever dipped food in it?
No.
Don't hate it until you try it.
I've been teetotal for the duration of MCCR practice, and I have a bottle of Malibu on my desk, ready for the
celebration.
Either the celebration or commiserations, ready for the second that I've finished. As soon as we know who's on the podium, I'm drinking.
Do you want a serious recommendation then that you can have during MCC Rising? A salted caramel Bailey's hot chocolate.
Oh god, I do love Bailey's. Wait, no, because I love Bailey's. I'm not drinking. I won't drink.
And then you can dip your chips in it.
Please let us move on.
What problem? What genuine emotional.
See, I thought I'd be judged for my one. But my one's
yours is fine.
Natural.
That's normal and natural and okay in a person's home. The things that you do inside your own home with your sticks in your toe, that's up to you. Things that you do, Orbit, you should see a therapist.
Instead of ketchup, instead of gravy, sorry, I use Guinness. I get a roast dinner and I pour the foam from the Guinness all over us. Okay, I don't do that. Move on, AJ, next question.
Wow, that's making me ill.
What is your favourite part of being... That's underscore Hosh14 asks, what's your favourite part of being a streamer? And on the other end of the scale, which is your favourite part... which part of streaming don't you enjoy?
Oh, my favourite part of being a streamer versus... Oh, okay. This is a little bit of a tangent. Once again, name dropping Owen. Someone needs to keep a tally of how many times I've done this.
You said about 5, 6 times.
It's been a few, yeah. So me and Owen became friends not long after I told him that I had a child. And I sort of explained a little bit about Sam to him, and I told him that me watched his streams a lot, and Sam liked his YouTube stuff. And he just said, "Hey, can I be Sam's godfather?" I was like, "I'm not a Christian. Go ahead. That's fine." And now the fact that like my son's idol, right? Like my Martin and Littlewood, his Martin and Littlewood is Owen, right? Him being able to have constant communication with Owen, his favorite YouTuber of all time, is crazy, and it's something that never would have happened. I think being able to give Sam everything he wants in a way that isn't material, in a way that isn't going to quote unquote spoil him, isn't in a way that's going to make him feel entitled to things, giving him experiences more so than material gain, is I think genuinely my favorite thing in content. I love the fact that he is able to participate and have people who actively care about him in the space. My least favorite part about content is having to get up sometimes and go to stream, because I like to have like a little break, right? My son goes to bed about 6:45, 7ish. I have about an hour where I just lie down and I do nothing because disability, chronic pain. And then I get up and I do my stream. And I don't like the getting up bit. Don't enjoy that bit. Not fun. I don't know if that's my least favorite, but it's my least favorite bit that comes up all of the time. There are way worse parts of content, don't get me wrong, but it's the thing that happens every day. Content is a cesspool sometimes, but sometimes I have to move and I don't want to.
Does he listen to InsideMC?
No, weirdly enough, because the two of my friends that I am aware have been on this podcast are very sweary.
Who are the two friends?
Derpy and Laz.
Fulham's been on.
Oh, Fulham's been on?
Yeah, loads of people have been on. He got away.
Fulham sweared so much.
Did he?
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, I wasn't there.
No,
oh yeah, that was InsideMC. I think Fulham came on before Midweek MC was a thing, actually.
Crazy.
The worse version.
We go way back. Me and I'm not gonna know.
Before I was here, which makes it worse.
I love Fulham. Me and Fulham do not go way back at all. Me and Fulham met very, very, but he is so cool. Like genuinely one of the coolest people I think I've met in this space.
After us, right?
Not after your whole debacle with food and
I think dipping my chips in Guinness is pretty cool, but you know.
Yeah, no. See someone about that.
I have, and they said they called me epic.
Who was that? Was that a mirror?
Your mum. It's his mum.
My mum did not call me epic with dipping chips in my Guinness.
I call my son epic all of the time.
Yeah, but my mum did not.
Maybe your mum just doesn't think that you're epic.
At the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, that brings the end of the Midweek MC podcast. Thank you all for listening. But before we do the outro,
my last line, please. Let my last line be, I don't think your mum thinks you're epic.
No,
that's mean.
I'm putting that in the pre-highlights. That's going to be the final line in the pre-highlights. People are going to listen to this podcast and be like, damn, what possibly brought up that? But before we do the outro here,
and then they'll get the context and they'll agree.
Yeah, no, they will.
Before we do the outro here, I always like to give this opportunity, or we always like to give this opportunity for you to promote yourself. Let us know where people can find you. I also do want to say the line Minecraft movie. We're not going to talk about it because it's too long-winded, but I want to put it in the advertising. So now people are going to think we talked about the Minecraft movie, and all we did was say Minecraft movie in the outro. But, you know, Minecraft movie. Woo! I think it looks really good.
You need me to recite it a few times so that you can get like different emotions.
Nah, I'm not going to put in the pre-highlights. It's just I can put in like the advertising on Twitter, and I can put in the description like we talked about the Minecraft movie.
Fine. I was just going to do like I was going to roll through like 5 or 6 emotions so that you had like
you do that and then promote yourself. Go on, why not?
A Minecraft movie. Minecraft movie. Minecraft movie? There you go. Hi.
Minecraft movie.
Oh yeah, you should probably have a monotonous one.
Do that one.
Minecraft movie. I'm Watermunch. Hello.
They didn't hear what I said, AJ.
Twitch.tv. You can find me on twitch.tv/Watermunch. Also go to abodesmp.com, no hyphen, and follow all of the creators on there. They're all incredible. Love them very much. Watch me on
watch the VOD back.
Just thought you follow me. Watch the VOD from Saturday the 7th of September, because I'm in MCR with my friends. It's going to be a lot of fun. I make super cozy content. I sing a lot. I talk a lot. And I'm also really fun.
I think you've been quite cool.
You've been amazing. Thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
This is my first ever podcast.
That's
we hope you enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it.
Apart from the
kind of what
stuff Orbit says.
That's kind of what InsideMC does. You know, we kind of make it the first podcast for people. It's fun.
I'm waiting for the InsideMC to off menu pipeline. That's what I want.
What does that even mean?
Do you know what off menu is?
Podcast.
The best podcast that's ever existed. James Acaster and Ed Gamble.
Yeah, James Acaster is amazing.
I actually genuinely don't know. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I just
Wow.
I got my inspiration from Jack Mate's Happy Hour. So yeah.
Oh my god, that's a throwback.
Well, you're still around. It's hardly a throwback.
No, I know, but I haven't watched it in a long time.
You should listen to InsideMC. It's a good podcast.
I don't really listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, well, no,
I should, but I won't. I only listen to Off Menu, and also D&D is for nerds.
Oh my god, yes!
Right, with that being said, this has been Midweek MC.
We're going to talk so much in DMs.
I've only listened to like the first season, but I love
it. Doesn't matter, that's the best season.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Oh god.
Thank you for having me. It's been very nice.
No worries, and enjoy your chat with AJ about D&D and nerds and stuff like that. And Offcast or whatever it's called. Right. With that being said, thank you AJ for showing up as well. That's always fun when you're here.
Thank you.
And yeah, next week's Midweek MC will be the final one for a while. I know you will we have do we leak it, AJ?
Yeah.
Do we leak it to Watermunch? Yeah. It'll be announced obviously by the time they come out. Yeah, so Midweek MC is going on a break for a little while just because I've become a bit overwhelmed with everything. We are our final guest for Midweek. It's going to be none other than Avondale to talk about Rising.
Whoa, that's cool.
We've had Noxite on, we've had like other people on, and now we're getting Avondale.
You gotta say hi to Avondale for me. You must.
DM me and remind me when. Just reply to the tweet saying hi. Like genuinely, not trying to farm interactions, but like genuinely do it.
No, I will do that because then I'll actually remember to do it.
And I'll remember as well. So, all right, I should probably do the outro because I'm still recording. I just realized.
Yeah.
Right. Well, listeners, I hope you guys enjoyed listening. That's what you guys do. All right, thanks. This has been Midweek MC. Stay safe. Don't eat too much bread. Pieces.